All right, guys, let's dive into the marketplace news and economic news. A lot is happening in Nigeria, but we'll just pick the ones that concerns us, that relates to the customer experience, that affect our marketplace buying of tomatoes, yam, beans, rice. That's what politics is not our business. If I have time, I'll talk about this Donald Trump issue if I have time, but I've got like 10 minutes more to wrap up things. Now, we're here, and like I said to you, there's a big thing happening on this fuel tax. And not because, for me as a person, I think the government does not really mean bad. But maybe the timing and how they do it, and when they do it, affects a lot of things. And we have seen where in the news, the fuel tax implementation, all right, they say that it won't begin until Naira appreciates and the oil price drops. That's the first news we heard. This is coming from Taiwo Oyedele. He said it won't begin, so let's not go and panic. All right. And now, I think the first thing you must understand is when you say you sign an import duty on fuel, when you sign import duty, what it means is that an import duty is a tax or tariff that the government charges on goods brought into the country from abroad. Don't forget that Nigeria is still importing largely. We're still importing these finished products. We're still importing it. Even though Dangote have tried himself to say, can we ban this importation of what we have here? We still import fuel, I think about 60% from my last check, even with Dangote being on ground. And it could be a shameful news. But the move by the federal government to sign an import duty on fuel could be a good one, because it means that fuel coming from abroad will be taxed, and it's a way of the government generating revenue, which is not bad. The second part again is that it will protect, or let's say encourage, local industries, in this case local refinery or local refining. Remember that when the president of Nigeria, President Tinubu, removed subsidy, one of the things I criticized was not his removal of the subsidy, but was the timing of the removal of the subsidy. And the first thing I said was, how ready, are the modular refineries and the local refineries? Because the four big players refineries are not working. They're not working. The four big ones are not working. Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna, not working. Removing subsidy at that time was a bad timing, but was a good will. You see now. So now he's now signed or preparing to sign an import duty on fuel, and that will be good because it's going to give the government more revenue, and it will also encourage local refining. So meaning that if you sign maybe like a 5% import duty on fuel, some importers might not want to bring it in anymore because it's too much for them to pay. They will not be encouraged to bring it in, and will be forced to grow our local refineries, our local refining, modular refineries here. So if the government is all about generating revenue, then we are in for a big mess. But if the government is all about generating revenue and most especially protecting and encouraging local refining here, then we are good. Because once there's a local refining here, it means that we would not be depending or we would discourage the importers from bringing fuel from abroad. Now, historically, Nigeria does not charge import duty. We've never done it before on petrol and diesel because they are essential commodities. And the government wanted to keep prices low for citizens. Because once you charge import duty on fuel, and we're bringing fuel from abroad, it means that the commodity will be high. The pump price will be high. So most of Nigerians refined fuel, the PMS and the AGO is imported. Most of them, they're imported. But since the country's local refineries were mostly non-functional for years, and so import duty was 0 naira. So it was please don't charge because our local refinery is not working. We cannot hide from it. We import this fuel and AGO, we import them. And so if you put any import duty on it, Nigerians will have to pay through their nose. So historically, we don't do that. But the twist is that now that the government approves import duty, and Taiwo Oyedele says it won't take effect now until Naira is stable and the oil price drops, all those things. Now, if the government begin this process, it means that importers will now pay a certain percentage, say 5%, as tax on every liter, or every ton or barrel, whatever it is they bring to Nigeria. They will pay 5% extra to the government. That 5%, no free food in Freetown. Somebody will pay for it. It's me and you that will go and pay for it. So the landing cost will be expensive, will be high. And the increase will, like I said, will reflect in our pump prices unless government reintroduces subsidy to offset it. And remember what I said, subsidy is gone. And so the economic and social implications is that fuel prices will rise slightly depending on the duty rate and FX rate. Inflation pressure may increase again. And what is an inflation? Because transport will be high. If you produce in Sokoto to bring them down to the suburbs, to the town, if fuel is increased, is high, cost of things will also be high. So everything will go up, logistics will go up. So inflation might be a strong thing to deal with. Now, governments can earn more, actually. They can earn more. But what's the essence of earning more? And the citizens are gnashing, are crying. So in summary, is that approving import duty on petrol and diesel in Nigeria means that the government has decided to start charging taxes on imported fuel products, increasing import costs, potentially raising pump prices, but also incentivizing local refineries and boosting government revenue. But the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, distinguished, has revealed that the proposed 5% fuel surcharge, which is tax, will not be implemented until a significant improvement in economic indicators like appreciation of the naira and drop in crude oil prices, and that takes place. Don't forget, let me say this lastly. This surcharge, this tax, was not brought by Tinubu. Don't get it twisted. This surcharge was not implemented by Tinubu. Was not enacted by Tinubu. Tinubu just want to implement it now. But again, they are saying, please take caution with a lot of things that's happening in Nigeria. So let's not get it twisted. It's not Tinubu now. So you're going to say it's not, but by the federal government. And federal government is continuum. We don't want to know whether it's Tinubu, it's federal government we are talking about. Federal government is federal government. And thank you that it's on hold until things get better, because it's not easy out there at all. We'll go to the next news. Don't go nowhere.